I died on a rainy Tuesday in D.C., my blood mixing with the Potomac'S filthy current, betrayed by the man I loved and the family I thought unbreakable. But death wasn't the end. It was a goddamn reset button, slamming me back into my 22-year-old body, heart pounding like I'd just chugged a Red Bull, staring at the same cracked mirror in my Georgetown dorm room 3 years before the knife hit my ribs. And the first thing I saw, that faded tattoo on my wrist. The one Mom inked with me the summer before she vanished, a delicate laurel wreath twisted around a hidden dagger, whispering secrets I was too naive to hear.
Now,
with every memory of my murder etched like acid in my brain, I knew the truth. My ex, Jake Harlan, the rising star Politico with his Ivy League smirk, didn't act alone. He was the blade. But the hand? It belonged to General Elias Crow, the 4-star hero of endless Middle East tours, whose wrist bore the exact same ink. My mother's tattoo. Our family's ghost. And as I flex my fingers, feeling the buzz of second chances, I vowed, this time, I'd carve the rot out of them all, no matter how deep it bled. File 1. The reset. The dorm room smelled like stale pizza and desperation, the kind that clings to undergrads chasing dreams bigger than their trust funds. I blinked at my reflection, Selena Reyes, 22, wide-eyed and unbroken, my dark curls a wild halo from the humidity outside. It was September 2022. 3 years before Jake would lure me to that boathouse under the guise of a surprise proposal, only to shove me overboard after I stumbled too close to his dirty little secret, embezzling campaign funds for some shadowy pact tied to defense contractors. But that was kid stuff compared to the real knife twist, the general's involvement, the man who'd mentored Jake, funded his rise, and, as I'd learn in my dying breaths, fathered me in a fling with my mom that ended with her suicide when I was 10. I gripped the sink, knuckles white, the cold porcelain grounding me as flashes hit, the gurgle of water in my lungs. Jake's panicked whisper, "Baby, you weren't supposed to find out." And then, in the haze of hypothermia, the speedboat's roar as it fled the scene.
no. Fuck that.
Not again. My phone buzzed on the chip dresser, a text from Mom's old number. But she was long gone. Wait.
No.
This was before. I snatched it up, heart slamming. Selena. Honey. Dinner at 7? Dad's grilling. Love.
M.
Dad? My stepdad. Victor. The bland accountant who'd married her after the accident. But the tattoo. Mom had inked it during our secret road trip to Atlantic City. Her voice slurred from cheap Merlot. This is us.
Kiddo.
Strength hidden in beauty. Promise you'll remember. I'd laughed it off as boozy philosophy.
Now?
It was a breadcrumb trail to hell. I dressed fast, jeans, a faded GW Law tee, the leather jacket Mom gave me for my birthday. Georgetown University loomed outside, all Gothic spires and entitled chatter. But I wasn't here to debate constitutional law today. I had a recon to run. First stop, the library, where Jake would be studying for his poli-sci midterm, already charming his way into the inner circle of Senator Harlan, his uncle. The family golden ticket. The quad was alive with frisbee tosses and awkward flirtations, the air crisp with that false promise of fall. I spotted him under the oak tree, blonde hair catching the sun like a halo he didn't deserve, laughing with a cluster of poli-sci bros. My stomach twisted. God. I loved him once. Or thought I did. With that blind faith that makes fools of us all. In my first life. We'd met at a campus rally against corporate lobbying, bonded over craft IPAs and share rants about big pharma. He was my white knight, or so I told myself, until he became the dragon. I approached slow, testing the waters, my smile a weapon I hadn't honed yet. Jake Harlan, as I live and breathe. Skipping class again, he turned, that megawatt grin flashing, eyes lighting up like I'd handed him the presidency on a platter. Selena,
Shit.
you scared me.
Nah. Just.
Strategizing. He pulled me into a hug. His cologne, that crisp cedar scent, hitting like a gut punch. Innocent now, but soon it'd mask the sweat of lies. We fell into easy rhythm, grabbing coffees at the on-campus Starbucks knockoff. Him rambling about his internship at the senator's office. Uncle Ray's got me on real shit now, drafting memos for the defense subcommittee. You should come by sometime. Meet the team. His hand brushed mine. Electric. And for a split second, I almost forgot. Almost. But I didn't. Sound intense. Anyone I know there?
Like.
That general everyone's buzzing about? Crow. Right? The one with the medals up his ass. Jake's laugh was a beat too sharp. Elias Crow?
Yeah.
He's a legend. Comes in for briefings sometimes.
Why?
You got a crush on silver foxes? I forced a chuckle, filing it away, the first thread. In my dying delirium, I'd overheard Jake on the phone. General, she's onto the transfers. I handled it. Handled. Like I was a glitch in their spreadsheet. That night, dinner at home in Arlington, Victor's split-level colonial. All beige carpets and framed family photos that lied like politicians. Mom, alive, vibrant, her laugh echoing as she tossed salad, hugged me at the door, her wrist flashing the tattoo under her sleeve. Identical. Missed you, baby girl. Law school's kicking your butt. Like a mule, I said, kissing her cheek, inhaling her lavender shampoo. Victor manned the grill out back, flipping burgers with the precision of a man who'd never grilled a steak in his life. He was solid, unremarkable, the stepdad who'd shown up after Mom's breakdown, married her quick to stabilize things. In my first life, I'd buried her ashes without question.
Now?
Every smile he cracked felt like a mask. Over dinner, talk turned to current events, the endless Ukraine aid debates, the whispers of corruption in the Pentagon. Mom's eyes darted to Victor when the general's name dropped in a news blip. Elias Crow, the anchor intoned, testifying tomorrow on black budget overruns. Victor cleared his throat, changing the subject to my grades. Later, washing dishes side by side, Mom leaned in, voice low. You okay?
Selena?
You seem distant. I hesitated, the weight of unspoken futures crushing me. How do you tell your mother she's marked for murder without shattering the now? Just stressed.
Hey.
That tattoo, remember when we got it? What's the story behind the dagger? Her smile faltered, suds dripping from her hands. Old habit from my wild days. Symbol of protection. That's all. Don't overthink it.
Kiddo.
But her eyes, dark like mine, held shadows. Secrets. I crashed on the couch that night, scrolling Jake's nascent socials on my phone, the glow illuminating my resolve. Tomorrow, I'd dig. Infiltrate his world. Charm the uncle. Get close to the general. Because if my death taught me anything, it's that trust is a luxury for the living. And I was done playing nice. The next week blurred into a calculated dance. Classes by day, torts and contracts. My mind half on hypotheticals, half on real vendettas.
Nights.
I volunteered at the senator's campaign office, citing my passion for transparency. Jake beamed, introducing me as my girl, the future SCOTUS pick. Uncle Ray Harlan shook my hand, his grip firm, eyes appraising like I was livestock. Reyes.
Huh?
Strong name. Your mom's in education? Was, I said, smooth as silk. Now she's advocating. Lie within truth. Mom volunteered at women's shelters. A detail I'd weaponize later. It was there, amid the fluorescent hum and coffee stains, that I first glimpsed General Crow. He strode in unannounced, flanked by aides in crisp suits, his presence sucking oxygen from the room.
Tall.
Ramrod straight, silver hair buzzed military short, face carved from granite, eyes like chips of Arctic ice. He clapped Ray on the back, voice a gravelly baritone. Senator.
Good to see you.
That bill's a clusterfuck without my input. Ray laughed, ushering him to the conference room. I lingered by the copier, feigning a jam, ears straining. Words like off-books funding and deniability floated out. Jake hovered nearby, whispering to an aide, his posture all deference. Then, as Crow emerged, rolling up his sleeves against the stuffy air, it happened. The cuff slid back, revealing ink on his inner wrist, laurel wreath, dagger glinting. Identical to Mom's. To mine. My blood ran cold, vision tunneling. He caught my stare, pausing mid-stride. Miss, his tone. Polite thunder. I swallowed, forcing casual. Just. Admiring the ink.
Sir.
Family thing. A flicker, surprise, recognition. Crossed his features. Gone in a blink. Old unit tattoo. You in the service.
No. Sir.
But my mom's got one just like it.
Beat.
From her wild days. He nodded. Expression unreadable. Then moved on. But as he passed, his cologne hit me faint, like aged bourbon and regret. The same as the blanket in Mom's closet, the one she'd cry into on anniversaries. That night, alone in my dorm, I Googled furiously, Crow, scandals, affairs, whispers of a 90s hookup with a journalist. But nothing solid. Victor's name popped in an old donor list to Crow's foundation, Peanuts. But connected. And Mom, her obit in my memory, but here, alive, hiding. I texted Jake. Dinner tomorrow? Got something to tell you.
Bait.
His reply, anything for you.
Babe.
Love that fire in you. Fire?
Oh.
He'd see flames. This rebirth wasn't mercy, it was munitions. And I was arming up. The restaurant was one of those DC staples, dim Edison bulbs, overpriced farm-to-table everything. The kind of place where interns eavesdrop on power plays over $18 salads. Jake had picked it, all chivalry, holding my chair like we were in some rom-com. But as I sat, crossing my legs under the table, I felt the phantom ache of that boathouse stab, the way his hands had trembled, not from remorse, but fear of getting caught. You look killer tonight, he said, eyes tracing my black dress, the one I'd chosen to echo Mom's funeral attire from my first timeline. Subtle armor. Thanks. Needed a night off from hypotheticals. I sipped my gin and tonic, the burn steadying me. So, tell me more about the general. He seems intense. Jake leaned in, voice dropping to that conspiratorial timbre he loved. Crow's the real deal. Saved my ass on a policy paper last month. Hooked me up with contacts in Langley. Uncle Ray says he's untouchable. Untouchable.
Right.
I probed gentle, like a lawyer building a case. What's his story? Family man? Or the lone wolf type? A shadow crossed Jake's face, quick as a cloud. Divorced twice. Kids scattered. But he's got this code, loyalty above all. That's why the tattoo. Some ranger thing from Nam?
Nah.
He's too young.
Golfa.
Probably. Lies layered like onion skin. I knew better. The ink was Mom's design. Sketched on a napkin during a '92 conference in Vegas, where she'd covered defense leaks for a now-defunct rag. I'd pieced it post-rebirth, from fragmented memories and frantic searches. Our appetizers arrived, charcuterie, artfully splayed, and I steered us there. Speaking of loyalty, remember that rally? You,
Me.
against the war machine? He grinned, clinking glasses. How could I forget? You were on fire, calling out the military-industrial complex. Changed my life. Bullshit. In truth, he'd flipped post-grad, interning for Ray while I clerked at a non-profit suing contractors for war crimes. Our fights escalated, me accusing him of selling out, him gaslighting with pragmatism. Culminated in that night, me hacking his email, sloppy password, his dog's name. Finding transfers to a crawling shell company.
Million.
Funneled for consulting. I'd confronted him. Tears and rage. And he'd chosen silence over confession, then the shove.
Now.
I mirrored his warmth. But inside, I cataloged the way his left ring finger twitched when I mentioned ethics, the app on his phone, visible when he checked notifications for encrypted calls. Jake, I said soft, laying my hand over his. Promise me we'll always be us.
No compromises.
His eyes softened, thumbs stroking my skin. Always. Selena. You're my North Star. I smiled, but my mind raced to phase 2, Mom. Next morning, I drove to Arlington unannounced, the Honda's AC blasting against the unseasonal heat. She was in the garden, kneeling in dirt, planting mums, her therapy since the accident. The one Crow orchestrated. I was sure now, a staged overdose to silence her exposé on his off-books arms deals. Mom, I called, voice cracking genuine for once. She looked up, soil-streaked cheeks blooming in a smile. Selena, what's wrong? We sat on the porch swing, iced tea sweating between us.
Idovein. Casual as a bomb.
Found this old photo album. You at that Vegas conference, '92? Looking fierce. Her laugh was brittle.
God.
Ancient history. Covering the defense beat was exhilarating.
Met all sorts.
Including a certain general? I pulled out my phone. A cached image of young Crow, cocky, pre-silver. Mom's tea sloshed, eyes widening. Where'd you? Selena. That's not. The tattoo?
Mom.
I saw it on him. Same as ours. Silence stretched, thick as Virginia humidity. Then, whisper, it was a mistake. A weekend. He was married. I was ambitious. Ended before it began, but her hand trembled, tracing the ink. The dagger. He designed it. Said it meant strike true. Love fierce. I kept it for strength. And me. The question hung. Venomous. She paled. What? You're not with Victor because you love his tax returns?
Mom.
And Dad, my real dad, didn't bail. Did he? Tears welled. But she shook her head fierce. Don't, baby. Victor's good.
Stable.
Elias. He couldn't know. I never told. Liar. Or half-truth. In my flashes of death, I'd seen the letter in Jake's safe, Mom's handwriting. Pleading, Elias. She's yours. Protect us.
Ignored.
I hugged her then. Fierce. Inhaling secrets. I love you. But no more hiding. We deserve truth. She nodded.
Broken.
That night, Victor came home late, smelling of cigar smoke. Not his usual aftershave. I watched from the stairs as he kissed her forehead, murmuring, "Everything's handled. Love. Handled." Echo of Jake. My phone pinged. Jake. Inviting me to a gala. Crow's keynoting. Wear something red. Red for blood.
Perfect.
The gala was Beltway glamour, Mar-a-Lago light. At the Kennedy Center, chandeliers dripping like honeyed lies. I arrived on Jake's arm. Red sheath-hugging curves, hair swept up to bare my tattooed wrist. Heads turned, I was the exotic wild card. Latina fire in a sea of pasty power. Crow spotted us across the room, raising a glass in toast. Up close, his eyes bored into mine, recognition sharpening. Miss Reyes. We meet again.
General.
Small world. I extended my hand, deliberate.
Cuffs aligned.
Our inks kissed in the clasp. Electric. He held a beat too long. Indeed. Your mother, Maria.
Was it? Fine giornalist.
Mist in the field. Ice in my veins. She misses it too. Says the real stories are buried deep. A chuckle.
Low.
Wisdom.
And you? Law.
Or following her footsteps. Both. Digging where it hurts. Flirtation laced with threat. Jake interjected, arms snaking my waist. Selena's a shark. Keeps me honest. Crow's gaze lingered. Honesty's a rare commodity here. Then, to Jake, a word. Son. They vanished into a side room, doors clicking shut. I mingled, champagne flute in hand, ears tuned to whispers. Crow's pushing that bill, billions for drones. No oversight. Harlan's in deep, nephew's the front. 20 minutes later, Jake emerged.
Flushed.
Big things brewing. You good, Peachy. But I tailed him to the valet. Phone recording discreetly. Snippets. Tell her nothing. The general's orders. Her.
Me?
Or Mom. Driving home. Rain lashing the windshield. I pieced it. Crow wasn't just Jake's mentor. He was the architect. Mom's affair birthed me. A liability when she sniffed his corruption. Victor? The cleaner. Paid to marry and muzzle.
I pulled over.
Sobs racking. Grief for the life unlived. Rage for the one stolen. But tears dried quick. This was war. Next day, I confronted Victor. Alone in his study, amid ledgers and golf trophies. The general. You know him. He stiffened, glasses slipping. Donor. Why? The tattoo.
Mom's.
His. And mine. Silence.
Then sigh.
Selena. It's complicated. Your mother. She got in over her head. Elias helped us out after. Helped? By faking her death.
No.
Wait, too soon. Dial back.
He blanched. What? No.
She attempted pills. I saved her.
Lies.
But his eyes darted to a locked drawer. Bingo. That night. Insomnia gnawed. I texted Mom. We need to talk. All of it. Her reply. Tomorrow. Love you. But tomorrow brought Jake. Pounding on my door at dawn. Babe. Open up. It's bad. I cracked it. Feigning sleep rumpled. What's wrong? Uncle Ray's office raid rumors. Some leak. Panic edged his voice. Sympathy mask on.
Shit.
You okay? He collapsed onto my bed. Head in hands. I might have. Signed off on something dumb. Off books. Heart raced, jackpot. Tell me. Whispers tumbled. Dummy accounts. Laundered through Crow's pack. It's not what you think. Helping vets. Vets or your career? Soft accusation. He looked up. Wounded. You don't trust me? Not anymore. But I pulled him close.
Lips brushen ear, ido.
We'll fix it. Together. As he slept, I snapped photos of his phone, texts to EC. She's asking questions. Handle? My finger hovered over delete.
No.
Let it play. Bait the trap. The week spiraled. Anonymous tips to watchdogs. Me playing double agent. Mom confessed fragments. Crow's jealousy. Threats when she walked. He wanted control. Over me. Over you. Victor hovered. Suspicious. Jake clung tighter. Proposals whispered in post-sex haze. Marry me. Selena. Make it real.
Tempting.
But rings bind, knives cut. Climax brewed at a fundraiser. Crows. Black tie. Donors dripping diamonds. I went solo. Jake, stuck at work. Slipped in. Wrist bared like a gauntlet. Crow cornered me by the bar. Maria's daughter. Bold. Truth's bolder. I leaned in. What happened to her? General? The real story. His face hardened. Bourbon breath hot. Careful.
Girl.
Some graves stay closed. Mine's open. I flash my tattoo. Family. Right? He grabbed my arm, subtle. Bruising. Walk with me.
Outside.
Under stars smudged by city glow. He lit a cigar. Your mother was fire. Burned too bright. I tried to protect her from herself. From the game. By staging an OD? Smoke curled. Accidents happen. Victor cleaned up. Good man. Rage boiled.
And me?
Your daughter.
Choke.
Cigar dropped. She told you. Doesn't matter. You let Jake kill me. In another life. Delirium? Or truth serum slipping? His eyes widened, fear. Then calculation. You're unhinged. Like her. But he slipped phone out. Dialing. Harlan. Contain it. I bolted. Heels clicking on marble. Heart thunder. Inside. Chaos, Jake. Spotting me. Face ashen. Selena? What did you do? Nothing you haven't. I shoved past. Into the night. Sirens wailed distant. My tip paying off. Raid incoming. Home. Mom waited. Bags packed. We're leaving. Tonight. Victor burst in. Gun drawn, service piece.
Crow's gift.
No one's going anywhere. Twist of the knife.
Stepdad.
The fixer. I froze. Time fracturing. Rebirth's gift. I saw the shot coming. Word count. 1018. File 3. The blade falls. The living room tilted. Victor's hand steady on the Glock. Its barrel a black eye staring me down. Mom gasped behind me, clutching a duffel like a shield. Rain hammered the windows, turning the world to liquid mercury, echo of my drowning. The ultimate irony. Victor. Please, Mom begged. Voice splinter. It's over. She knows. He didn't flinch. Eyes flicking between us, cold, appraising. The accountant's ledger, mind weighing costs. Elias said you'd crack eventually. Maria. Always the loose end. I stepped forward.
Slow.
Hands raised, de-escalation 101 from those self-defense workshops I'd blown off in Life 1. Put it down.
Vic.
Cops are en route. Your prince on everything.
Bluff.
But his twitch said it landed. Bullshit. You're bluffing, girl. Am I? That drawer in your study, keys on the hook. I copied your files last week. Transfers to Cayman Shells. Signed VR. Crow's cut, 30%. Mom's sharp intake. She hadn't known the depth. Victor's face crumpled. Gun dipping. It was for us.
Stability.
After her. Episode. My laugh barked. Bitter. You mean after Crow roughed her up for threatening to go public? The bruises you doctored with makeup and lies? His eyes bulged. How? Ghosts talk. Or near-death clarity. I lunged then, palm striking his wrist, crack of bone. Gun skittering across Berber carpet. Mom dove for it. But he recovered. Backhand connecting with my jaw. Stars burst. Copper flooding my mouth. We grappled. A tangle of limbs and betrayal, Victor's weight pinning me. Breath ragged. Stupid kid. You think Elias cares? You're a complication. Complication.
Like Mom.
Like the me he'd watched sink. Silent accomplice in Life 1. Sipping scotch while Jake confessed over burner phones. Mom screamed, swinging a lamp, bass cracking his skull. He slumped, groaning, blood trickling. She dropped to her knees, sobbing. Selena.
God.
What have I done? Saved us. I pulled her up, grabbing the gun cold, heavy. We go.
Now.
Sirens wailed closer. My anonymous call to tips at Justice.gov paying dividends. We fled to the garage. Mom's old Civic wheezing to life. Arlington blurred past. Taillights smearing in rain. Canada, she gasped. White-knuckled on the wheel. DC first. Evidence. My laptop in the trunk, hacked docs. Crow's emails poached via Jake's forgotten login. Then, we burn it all. Phone buzzed Jake. Where are you? Victor called. Said you're hysterical. Hysterical. Classic. I texted back. Truth hurts. See you in court. We holed up in a no-tell motel off I-95. The kind with vibrating beds and roaches for roommates. Mom paced. Chain-smoking camels, vice I'd forgotten. Elias.
He promised.
After Vegas. Said he'd leave his wife. Then the threat started. Leaks I'd filed. He buried them. When I found the arms scam, selling faulty gear to allies, pocketing kickbacks, I threatened exposure. And me, I pressed, bandaging my split lip in the bathroom mirror. Her eyes glistened. I told him on a call, right before.
He laughed. Keep the brat.
But shut your mouth, Victor. He was Elias's plant. To watch me, pieces slotted, the quick marriage, the stability, Victor's donor checks, hush money. Dawn broke gray. News alerts pinging. Pentagon scandal, Senator Harlan's office raided. Jake's name buried in fine print. Aide questioned.
Good.
Let it fester. We drove to a storage unit in Fairfax, Mom's bolt hole, stuffed with yellowed files from her journo days. Dusty boxes yielded gold, tapes of Crow bragging at dinners, docs on rigged bids. Why hide this? I demanded, stuffing a satchel.
Fear.
For you. She touched my tattoo. This was our pact, survive the beasts. Then let's lay one. Back in the city, I dropped her at a safe house, a old sorority sis with no questions, then hit the federal courthouse. Not to testify, too raw but to file. Pro-se motion for subpoena, citing public interest. Judge raised a brow at the wild-eyed Latina in jeans. But the doc spoke, irrefutable. By noon, feds swarmed Harlan's HQ. Jake called. Voice shattered. Selena? What the fuck? You're ruining everything. Everything? You ruined me.
Click.
Afternoon brought Crow, summoned, storming the lobby in civvies. No entourage. He cornered me outside. Rain-slick pavement mirroring his scowl. You little bitch. Dragging my name. Your name's Mud. Daddy. The word spat like venom. Mom's alive. Talking. He grabbed my collar, slamming me against brick, breath hot, eyes feral. I'll bury you both. Accidents happen twice. Fear spiked, but rebirth's edge sharpened me. I need his groin. Twist free. Try it. This time, I fight back. He wheezed, clutching pearls metaphoric. Who the hell are you? Resurrection. I vanished into the crowd, pulse thundering. That night, Jake showed at the motel, disheveled, designer shirt untucked. Babe, listen. It was pressure.
Crow.
He owns us. Pity flickered Stockholm echo, but I steeled. Us. You chose him. Over me. Tears tracked his cheeks. I love you. Marry me. We'll run. Europe. Anywhere. The ring box emerged. Velvet worn. In life one. I'd said yes in delirium. Post-fight makeup.
Now?
I palmed the gun for my bag. Casual. On your knees. He dropped. Misunderstanding, romantic. Not ruinous. Selena. I pressed barrel to temple, his eyes widening in true terror.
Confess.
On tape. Phone whirring. Words poured. The fun siphons. Crow's orders. The boathouse solution when I got close. I didn't want to. But he said you'd destroy everything. Everything. His empire. Not our love. I stopped recording. Gun steady. Controversial choice. Pull trigger? Or let justice grind? Let the courts have you. I tossed the ring, diamonds scattering like shattered vows. But know this. I died for your ambition. Won't again. He crawled out. Broken. Media frenzy ignited next day. General's love child exposes corruption ring. Mom surfaced. Interview with Walpo. Voice steady. No more silence. Crow lawyered up. Victor flipped. Plea deal. Spilling on the episode. Not suicide attempt, but beating to coerce. Jake, arraigned. Bail denied. Flight risk. I watched from shadows. Law classes resuming like normalcy's cruel joke. But normal was Ash. Twist came mid-trial prep. Anonymous envelope at my dorm. Photos me. Age 5. On Crow's knee at a barbecue. Back scrawled. Blood calls to blood. Meet me. Or she pays. Attached. Mom's current safe house address.
Bait.
Or Olive Branch. I went alone. Dusk in Rock Creek Park. Joggers oblivious. Leaves crunching underfoot. Crow waited on a bench. Uniformed. Looking his age haggard.
Human.
Selena. No general bark. Sit. I did.
Distant.
What? Truce? After everything? He exhaled smoke, cigar stubbed out. I was young.
Scared.
Your mother. She was light. I dimmed it. Snuffed it. Cold. Victor exaggerated. On orders.
Pause.
You're mine. Fierce. Like her. DNA test in my bag confirmed, 98% match. But paternity's no pardon. Why now? I demanded. Legacy. The scandal buries me.
But you.
You could rise. Harlan's seat, mine to gift.
Bribe.
Controversial fork. Accept. Infiltrate from within, or reject. Watch him rot. I don't want your throne. I want justice.
His laugh. Hollow.
Justice is a whore. Pays the highest bidder. Or the boldest. I stood. Rod in Leavenworth. General. As I walked. Shot rang, silencer cough. I spun. He clutched chest. Eyes glazing. Self-inflicted?
Or.
No time. I ran. Sirens my chorus. News broke. General Crow dead by suicide amid probe.
Clean.
Too clean. But doubt gnawed his eyes.
Pleading?
Victor's testimony shifted. Elias begged me to end it. For the family.
Family.
The word soured. Jake's trial loomed. Mom testified, poised, unbowed. I watched from gallery. Her glance my anchor. Verdict, guilty. 20 years. After. She hugged me. Proud. Baby. We survived.
Did we?
Scars lingered, tattoos mocking. Yet, in the quiet, I trace mine. Laurel for victory. Dagger for what came next. Court adjournment hit like exhale after drowning, relief laced with vacuum. The courtroom emptied. Reporters swarming Mom like piranhas, but she waved them off. Arm linked in mine.
Outside.
DC's autumn, bite nipped. Leaves carpeting sidewalks in defiant reds, ironic. After the blood, not spilled. Selena, she murmured. Hailing a cab. Dinner? Real food. Not vending machine crap. I nodded.
Numb.
Jake's orange jumpsuit haunted. His final glare, betrayal's mirror. But victory? Hollow. When the architect escaped via bullet. We ate at a hole-in-the-wall Ethiopian spot in Adams Morgan, injera tearing soft, Berbera spice burning truths loose. Mom picked at her kitfo. Eyes distant. Victor called from county. Says he's sorry. Sorry cells in hell. I speared a lentil. Fork aggressive.
He beat you.
For him. She sighed, unfolding like old map. Not just. I pushed back, filed that first story on faulty vests. Elias panicked. Sent Vic to persuade. But it was mutual.
In a way.
I stayed for you. Stability's lie. Mutual. The word chafed, victim-blaming's sly cousin.
No.
You deserved better. Her smile.
Sad.
Now I do. Freelance gig with NPR. Deep dives on corruption. You?
Law.
Still. But nights blurred. Nightmares of water. Crow's eyes in the dark. Campus resumed. A surreal backpedal. Professors nodded, saw the news. MS. Reyes. Resilient stock. Classmates whispered. That's her. The one who took down the general. Jake's old crew ghosted. New allies emerged. Radical journos sniffing my scent. Then, the letter certified. No return. Cream stock. Embossed eagle. Crow estate. Inheritance. I tore it in the quad. Wind scattering confetti lies. But curiosity won. I drove to the lawyer's office in McLean. All mahogany and moneyed hush. Mr. Hargrove. Paunchy in pinstripes. Steepled fingers. MS. Reyes. The general's will. Unexpected provisions. DNA confirmed. Estate sliced. Trust for me. 5 mil. Earmarked education and discretion. Conditions. NDA on paternity. No further leaks. I laughed.
Sharp.
Tell the dead man to fuck off. Hargrove blinked. But donate it. To war widows. Anonymously. Controversial? Hell yes, spite as charity. But it burned bridges. Or built pyres. Mom cheered when I told her. Toasting with bootleg tequila. That's my girl. Laurel. Not dagger. But daggers cut inward. Doubts festered. Suicide. Or staged. Autopsy mum. But whispers single shot. Perfect angle.
Pro.
Victor. In lockup. Requested meet. I went. Fluorescent hell of visitation room partitioning us. He looked shrunk. Orange ill-fit. Selena. Thank God. Save it. Arms crossed. I didn't want any of it. Elias, he owned me. Debts from Nom Investments. Gone south. Said Maria was collateral. Collateral. And the beating?
Tears. Ordered.
But I pulled punches. Loved her. In my way.
Love.
Twisted word. Why kill Crow? Or fake it? His whisper. Wasn't me. After you ran. He called, raging. Said. End it clean. I refused. Next morning. Done.
Who?
Then?
Jake.
From inside? Or deeper rot? I left unsettled. Pieces jagged. Winter blanketed DC. In indifferent white. Holidays a farce. Mom and I at a rented cabin in Shenandoah. No tree. Just fire and files. She dug into Crow's past. Gulf logs. Redacted but crackable via FOIA hacks I'd learned in Rebirth Boot Camp. Discovery. 93 memo. Buried, Crow court-martialed for fragging a superior. Covered by Daddy's pull. Mom's byline on the leak that sparked it. He hated me for that, she said. Flames dancing on her face. But the affair. It humanized him. Until power did. Human.
Flawed.
My blood. New Year dawned with a bang, literally. Jake's appeal hearing. Me testifying on the fun trails. DA prepped me. Keep it tight.
No personal.
But on stand, his eyes locked mine, pleading. Broken. MS. Reyes.
Motive?
Beyond ambition. I paused. Courtroom, hush. Controversial bomb. Love. Or what he called it. But it was control. Like his uncles. Like the generals. Gavel bang.
Sustained.
But seed planted, headlines screamed, family ties and scandal. Post-hearing. Tail black SUV.
Tinted.
Shadowing my Corolla. Paranoia? Or prudence? I lost them in Foggy Bottom. Doubling back to a cyber cafe. Hacked Jake's commissary emails, smuggled via guard. 1-2 Shadow. She's digging. Finish her like the old man. Shadow. New player. Mom's NPR spot aired. The General's Ghost. Arms deals and affairs. Rating spiked. Threats followed. Voicemails. Gravel voices. Drop it. Or swim. We up security. Pepper spray. Burner phones. But tension coiled. Spring loaded. Spring thaw brought bloom. Law clinic gig. Suing for wrongful death. Irony's gift. Client. Iraqi vet. Faulty vest from Crow's contract. Your story inspired, he said. Scarred hands gripping mine. Guilt twisted. My vengeance. Collateral for others. Then. Twists fork. Anonymous meet. Rock Creek again.
Come alone.
10 p.m. Truth about Crow. Stupid? Yes. But daggers demand wielders.
Park swallowed me.
Moon silvering paths. Figure emerged female. Hooded. Voice familiar. Selena. Aide from Harlan's, Lila. Mousy redhead who'd fetched my coffee once. I'm his half-sister. Crows. DNA Club.
Spill.
She handed drive videos. Crow's suicide night. Not alone, Jake. Via video call from pretrial. Coaching. Pull the trigger.
Sir.
Clean slate. No shot from him. Remote? Wait. Angle wrong. Rewind. Third shadow. Injecting air embolism. Staged as self. Victor, I breathed. Lila nodded. Freed on technicality last week. Elias's last order. Protect the name. At all costs.
Costs me.
We parted. Her vanishing into night. I bolted home. Mom's safe house. Lights off.
Door ajar.
Inside. Chaos. Overturned lamps. Struggle marks. Note on fridge. She's next. Join or mourn. Victor. I called feds APB out. Manhunt ignited. Choppers whirring over Potomac. Dawn found him. Shenandoah Woods. Cornered by K9S. Surrendered meek. Gun to temple, bluff. Interrogation vid leaked. Elias was father to us all. Flawed God. I fixed his end. Fixed. Like family.
Me?
Testified again. Voice steel. He chose murder over amends. Victor. Life.
No parole.
Quiet settled. Uneasy truce. Mom's Series 1 awards. I clerked for a Fed judge. Anti-corruption bench. But echoes lingered. Crows laugh in dreams. Jake's tears. Rebirth's price. Haunting. Summer heat baked DC. Internships calling. Jake wrote from Supermax. Forgive? Or forget? Burned it. Neither. Mom, and I got matching updates. Tattoo parlor in Adams Morgan. Artist with steady hand. Laurel bloomed fuller. Dagger sheathed. Not struck. New chapter, she said, wincing at needle.
Mine?
Unwritten. But armed. The needle's hum faded into DC's summer symphony, cicadas droning. Distant metro rumble, as the artist wiped ink from our wrists. Mom flexed hers, admiring the upgrade. Laurel vines thicker, weaving the dagger into dormancy. Thorns blunted to subtle barbs. Not hiding, she said, meeting my eyes in the mirror. Just evolving. Evolving. Rebirth's mantra. I trace the lines. Skin tender. A map of survival etched permanent. Outside. Humidity clung like regret. But we walked lighter. Two women who'd stared down gods and walked away breathing. Back at her new apartment, U Street walk up. Vibra murals papering walls, we cracked a bottle of mezcal. Toasting ghosts. NPR had renewed her contract. She'd pivoted to podcasts. Shadows of Power. Episodes dissecting not just Crow but the ecosystem that birthed him. Listeners devoured. 5-star reviews calling her the voice we needed. You watched the finale? She asked, pouring amber into mismatched glasses. I nodded, sinking into thrift store couch. Last EP, Victor's confession tape. Redacted for air but raw and full. Tears admitting the injection. For the general's honor.
Honor.
The words soured like curdled milk. Mom's eyes softened. You could have let it bury us. The DNA, the money. But you chose fire. Fire cleans. Half-truth. Nights still woke me. Phantom water lapping. Crow's voice. Blood calls. Paternity's chain. Unwanted heirloom. My phone buzzed. Clerkship update. Judge Harlan.
Nori Lasgen.
But irony's wink. Assigned a case on defense contractor fraud. Reyes. His email read, your insight's gold. Start Monday. Monday. Fresh wounds. Jake's appeals dragged. Pro bono lawyers scraping for mistrial. Coerced confession.
I monitored via Pacer alerts.
Detached as a hawk. But detachment cracked at the Bar Association gala, black tie redux. Kennedy Center humming with egos. I went armored. Emerald gown. Hair coiled like springs. Tattoo bared like challenge. Mingled with future foes, DOJ vets. Hill staffers, charm offensive honed in blood. Then, him, Ray Harlan, uncle unindicted. Cooperator who'd flipped early. Shaving years off Jake's bid. Graying at temples. Suit impeccable. He approached flute in hand. MS. Reyes. A word. Wariness spiked. Senator.
Ex.
Technically. Resigned. His smile.
Rye.
Your testimony.
Fair.
Brutal. But fair. Truth usually is. Sip of champagne. Bubbles biting. He leaned in. Voice low over string quartet swell. Jake, my nephew. Blood or not wrote. Says you're the only one who sees him clear.
Clear?
As mud. He made choices. As did I. Enabling.
Pause.
Eyes searching. Elias.
Complicated man.
Mentored me too.
But you?
You're the reckoning. Reckoning. Flattery or fear. Flattery gets subpoenas. Chuckle. Noted. But consider. Foundation. For victims, war.
Corruption.
Your name on it. Controversial olive. Taint the win with compromise? Or build from ashes? I'll think. Exit line. Heels clicking retreat.
Outside.
Valet line snaking. A figure detached from shadows. Lila. Crow's half-sister. Cigarette glowing. Nice dress. Barry's skeleton's well. Spook detail? Half joke. She exhaled smoke halo. Private. Estates settled, your cut donated.
As wished.
But letters.
His.
To you. Handed envelope. Sealed with wax eagle. I pocketed. Nodding thanks. She melted away. Home. My sublet in DuPont Circle. Bookshelves groaning with case law. I slid it open. Pages yellowed. Script precise. Selena. If this reaches.
I'm dust.
Pardon the melodrama. Old habit. Your mother named you well. Moon goddess. Fierce light. I saw it in you. That first handshake. Blood doesn't lie. Regrets? Oceans. Maria was escape. You the miracle I squandered. Power's poison, starts as shield, ends as cage. Victor?
My error.
Handler turned hound. The end? Mine to choose. No more graves. Wear the laurel. Wield the dagger only for right. Forgive, earned, not given. Elias. Tears pricked humanity's last con? Or genuine? I burned it in sync. Flame-devouring words. Smoke-curling accusation. Fall semester hit vortex. Classes. Clinic. Mom's rising star. Protests flared. Campus against endless aid bills. Echoes of my rally with Jake. I spoke at one. My caught. Power corrupts when unchecked. But we check it. Cheers thundered. But post-rally. Tail again, same SUV. Pulled over deliberate. Feigning text. Plate. Government issue. Feds. Or ghosts. Meeting with Ray next week, coffee. Neutral ground. He slid prospectus. Foundation charter. My sig line blank.
Nostrines.
Atonement. I signed. Pen heavy. Controversial? Perhaps. But legacies rewrite. Jake's final appeal denied. Life.
Effectively.
Letter smuggled. I see now. You were always free. Be happy. Selena. Burn too. Winter solstice. Mom and I at the wall, Vietnam scar. But Crow's war ghosts lingered. We traced names. Anonymous. Then ours, tattoos cold against marble. Think he'd approve, she asked. Breath fogging. Doubtful. Smile shared. New year. 2023. Rebirth's first full cycle. Party at a friend's loft. Bass thumping. Bodies swaying. I danced. Rare abandon. Curls loose. Dress swirling. Stranger approached tall. Dark eyes. Journalist badge glinting. Heard your story. Mind if I? Not tonight. But number exchanged. Spark genuine. Dawn cab ride. City blurring benevolent. Phone pinged mom.
Proud.
Always. Me. Love. Laurel strong. Rebirth wasn't erasure. Scars mapped the strong. Betrayals blade dulled. But ready. Controversial decisions? The ones that freed. Twists end. Happy. Lace tragic. Family shattered. Reforged in fire. Crow's blood ran true. Not in ruin. But rise. I slept deep.
Dreams dry.
Awake to possibilities. And the tattoo? It gleamed. Promise kept.